A 2-month wait finally ends, and a major decision about your identity becomes your reality. Community cheers you on as you follow through with this intense decision, and you'll also be likely supporting your supporters. That beautiful mutual support is truly the stuff that family and community is strengthened by. And after all of this, you'll see just how much your faith has grown thanks to the emotional wisdom that is really abounding in your communities and your families. I'm talking about the astrology of 3 specific days of this week. Firstly, Monday, the 25th, where we will see the Mars-Pluto first quarter square happening in the context of a grand air trine. Thursday, May 28th, where we will see the Venus-Saturn first quarter square happening in the context of the moon trining Venus as well. And of course, the Sagittarius full moon happening on Sunday the 31st. Bulk of my attention this week is definitely on Monday and the Mars-Pluto first quarter square that is happening. To give it to you straight, Monday will feel tense, hesitation, or wavering. Or it could just be simply waiting for something big, hesitating before acting. This hesitation is just a vibration of the intensity of your individuality that is ready to change. And that is correlated to Pluto in Aquarius. The energy that you are feeling to make a change in that identity, that's Mars in Taurus. The first quarter square between those two planets is truly one where we burst out of the gate, ready to share what we have been working on since these two planets made their conjunction, which was earlier in January of this year, 2026. Your new identity that is really here from Monday onwards is one that forces you to put your money where your mind is. And that investment changes who you are quite literally. Spend your money in your community. Pick the fruit and then give it away. Cut away the rotten areas of whatever your bounty is so that it can stay fresh and alive, aligning you to your new sense of self. Monday gives me big vibes of the mind-body connection. Mars in Taurus is so physical and Pluto in Aquarius is so mental. So there's a good chance that you're changing something about your body this week that's actually reflecting a much, much larger change that's happening in your mind or in your self-concept. There is some really good news in this intense moment, which is that we have a social opportunity. The grand air trine that's forming with the moon in Libra to Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius. This configuration is essentially cushioning whatever brave decision it is that you are making. I translate this as your community, which is this huge social opportunity, will be showing up for you in this moment as you follow through on this change. And that's where you will likely be showing up for them too. The moon in Libra is a very intimate connection with one other person. That one-on-one connection is essentially allowing us to start speaking in a new language. That's the trine from the moon in Libra to Uranus in Gemini. And whatever that new language that we're able to speak with now is actually opening us up to a brand new community, which is then the trine to Pluto in Aquarius from both the moon and Uranus. This is such a powerful social opportunity, and I think it's in this moment that we realize that we've been preparing for this change for really the last 2 months. It has been slowly arriving as we've been making smaller, difficult decisions up until now. This is correlated by Venus, the Sun, and Mercury all having passed this same first quarter square to Pluto before Mars is now, Mars being the final planet of all of the inner planets to make this square. I do think we've been waiting for the last 2 months, and I think we've been preparing the social support that we need in order to take this step. And it does take bravery. It can feel huge because it is Pluto. You really must reframe this challenge as nothing more than like a trip to the gym. You approach it and you do the reps and then you move on. You don't need to make this the biggest deal in the world, even though it is a very significant moment. As I mentioned, you will almost certainly have cheerleaders to support you, and you will be supporting people making big decisions too. The reps are all about how you are materially contributing to your changing identity, taking action to alter your physical environment so that it can alter your mind and return you to a deeper state of peace. But this takes external action. Now, to navigate Monday's intensity, there is really one truth I want you to hold on to. You are not your birth chart. As an astrologer in the age of Pluto in Aquarius, it is paramount that I remind you that you are not your birth chart. You are not any of these transits, and you are not anything that happens this week. You are an undying point of light that is impermeable to the highs and lows of life that astrology can so accurately hold a mirror to. Pluto in Aquarius is urging each of us to choose who we are based on the power of our mindset. Power is a Pluto signature, and Aquarius is our mind. If you are used to your mind or someone else's mind telling you who you are without you questioning it or having a say, Pluto in Aquarius is here to flip that script. You tell your mind who you are. Your mind is a tool. It is not the one in charge. This tool brings you into new self-concept that will bring you into new community. And that's all. You are love, and that's it. Astrology itself is the patterning that is both in sync with and blocking you from this pure expression of unconditional love within that unified field of consciousness. But I think that's the point. The blockages are the point. That's why we're here. Astrological analysis and how I use it helps us to see our blocked positioning so that we can firstly make space and secondly reposition ourselves for more self-agency and unification with our inner spirit. To maintain a sense of unity in duality, we must approach life as a game that we really love playing. We can fail or we can win, but ultimately we are doing this for fun. It is hard to hold levity like this in a week where Pluto is so strongly emphasized, because Pluto is about really life or death. But again, that's even more reason to remind ourselves to take things lightly this week. Moving on to Thursday, whatever pathway we opened up with Monday's great action also opens us up to say yes to our role in fostering emotional and familial enjoyment. This is the first quarter square between Venus in Cancer and Saturn in Aries. Emotional enjoyment, which is Venus in Cancer, that arises in this case when we commit to ourselves, which is Saturn in Aries, and take responsibility for our individual role within our families and our communities, and that is also Saturn in Aries. Commitment to the self, commitment to the role in your larger community. At that same time on Thursday, the moon in Scorpio will be in a near perfect trine to the same Venus. And that is an opportunity for us to deepen in the bonds around us and trust in the change that has been made. This Venus-Saturn square also indicates that we will be having to push something, and this is the type of square that might not show us immediate results. However, there is a deeper inner knowing with this square that we have put in the work and that it is coming. That brings us to the end of the week on Sunday. The moon will have reached its full illumination in the sign of Sagittarius, and this is the sign where we see our faith. We get a full bleed image of the bigger picture with the full moon in Sagittarius. In this case, which has everything to do with the family and the commitments that we have found enjoyment in this week after making that huge decision on Monday. And this is because that full moon is ruled by Jupiter in Cancer, which is all about the emotional wisdom that we really have been cultivating for over a year now. Next week is much less packed than this week and even the last few weeks. But next week we are coming to a very, very important crossroads in our personal intelligence with Uranus and Gemini forming an exact square to the lunar nodes. So take a breath and let this full moon illuminate your larger emotional reason for being. Enjoy the wisdom of your family and emotional environments. And until next week, bye for now.